Hello, this is Luke Donald Langston, and in today's video we will be doing a bit of an arms race. Okay, comparing the Macbook M1 with newly developed ARMS processor for MacBook and the Surface Pro X, a recent Microsoft device. Both laptops, both $1,000 with an ARM processor as well. And first, a bit about an ARM processor. What do those look like? When you think of those, I mean, probably the finest example of what most users have encountered with an ARM processor is your smartphone. Okay, I don't know a counterexample to this, but most, if not all, should have an ARM processor. This processor that handles everything in one unit. Okay, and these processors, why are they being used? They're intended, as phones are intended to, more focus on battery life and endurance as opposed to outright performance. So what you would obviously expect from a phone is more of an emphasis on battery life and less on performance. Now, of course, you want to focus on both, but that's kind of the idea of an ARM processor, and maybe something to have in mind as we look at these laptops with ARM processors. The first topic I wanted to cover comparing these two laptops is compatibility. Okay, so ARM processors don't necessarily play nice with things that weren't designed to be used by an ARM processor. Now, Apple has countered that with Rosetta 2, which is this emulation software that takes these guys that don't play with ARM processors and runs them through and emulates them to be ran on that type of processor. And in reviews I've seen, which I will link in the video for everything here, because I don't own either of these devices. I am summarizing reviews of others and many reviews I've seen. The Rosetta 2 has not really had much of an issue. It takes a bit more battery, has been the one complaint I've seen, but overall functions as an emulator should. And then you have the Surface Pro X. This guy does not, Microsoft has said that an emulation is coming for it, but it's not out yet. And for now, Surface Pro X can only run software that is designed with an ARM processor in mind. So that is definitely a step down on the Microsoft. You are at a disadvantage right now and taking a gamble on whatever emulation they may provide in the future. Next, I wanted to actually briefly talk about performance, because again, I don't have much interesting stuff to show you as I don't have them, but if you've looked up any reviews between these two, you should know that the M1 is quite the powerhouse, being the tight-knit ARM processor laptop that it is. It smoked a lot of things, including the Surface Pro X. So if you're looking at performance, certainly, and again, I'll link a few sites on the description, but the M1 wins in performance. I'm just going to leave it at that. Just better ARM processor laptop, better performance there. I want to touch on battery life, and again, that's kind of a quick topic. Just what have users been seeing? The general consensus is that both were a little overhyped. That tends to happen in battery life proclamations of laptops, but M1 holds pretty well battery life wise. I'll link some reviews and stats there. Surface Pro X again holds well, but not as well as the M1. The M1, I should say the MacBook, holds pretty well on battery life. So I would say the MacBook, in what I've seen, lives closer to expectations. So battery life goes to MacBook. One of the last big things I want to talk about is design between these two, because they're both touted as laptops, right? They're not iPads, they're not tablets necessarily, they are laptops. That's their feature. They run Windows 10 and now Big Sur. So a little bit about the design, just a few things to note. So the MacBook is a laptop. I mean, that's what you'd expect. Whereas Surface Pro X is more of a tablet feel, right? You don't come with a keyboard. You've got touchscreen capability, which that is a plus. I mean, if you're in need of a touchscreen, you've got the Surface Pro X for that. So that would certainly be your up there. But that's a huge if you need a touchscreen. So that's just a bit about the feel of the two laptops. I mean, they're both laptops, yes. But I would say the MacBook feels more like a traditional laptop, if that's something you're excited by. But Tablets are also great as well, very convenient to just have something to pick up and finger around with. So that's who wins there, I don't know, user preference. In conclusion, I think that Apple has done a great job with the MacBook, and if you were in a search of specifically a laptop that costs around $1,000, that has an ARM processor, it seems like even in these early stages after release, the MacBook M1 has claimed a very solid spot in the ARM processor world for laptop. A very impressive piece of hardware. Surface Pro X is cool, but just seems a little less shiny and a little less cool than MacBook. I guess, yeah, we'll leave it at that. So that's my pick. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about those two devices. But that's the arms race. I'm curious to see where ARM processors will go. These were two interesting laptops to compare. ARM processors and costing $1,000. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know if these become the new thing. How popular ARM stuff will get. I have no idea. But with that, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment below for things that you'd like to see in the future. This has been Luke Donald Langston with Donald S6. Catch you later.